He was being cleaned in the garage.
Okay.
Who lives here?
Up in the street.
1, 2, 3?
Double house, the basement and the upstairs are two different.
My two daughters live here.
He said that he was in the process of being released from prison and was moving back into the home. It was owned by his parents, and his 3 daughters, ages 13, 18 and 20, lived there. Darren said that before he went to prison, he had lived in the home with his 3 girls and his then wife, Megan Huntsman. But they had since broken up, and she had moved out of the home to a trailer in Salt Lake City about 3 years ago. She was living there with her new boyfriend, Jimmy Brady. Darren had been incarcerated for the past 8 years after being convicted of manufacturing methamphetamine. He was released in January and transferred to a halfway house in Salt Lake City, but he could now return home. That morning, Darren had gone to his old home to clean out the garage and make space for his return, as he planned to move back in there with his 3 daughters. His parents had come over to help him, and the first place they wanted to tackle was the garage. It had always been cluttered, with piles of boxes upon piles of boxes. They had a trailer parked out the front, and Darren wanted to find some items that they could take to the charity shop. While clearing out a section of the garage, Darren noticed a box tightly wrapped in duct tape. Curiosity piqued. He opened the box to find a white trash bag inside, which appeared to contain something. Carefully, he unwrapped the first bag, only to find another bag within it, also wrapped in duct tape. Darren ripped off the tape and opened up the second plastic bag. A foul odour immediately hit him, causing him to scrunch up his face in disgust. One of the neighbours had complained about a horrible smell coming from the garage just a few weeks earlier. To the neighbour, it smelt like the mounted deer head in the garage had gone rancid. But Darren would soon learn that it was something much more gruesome that had gone off. Peering inside the plastic bag, he was horrified to discover the lifeless body of a fully decomposed baby. After officers arrived at the home, Darren led them into the garage and pointed out the plastic bag containing the baby's body. He said that it was wrapped up in a towel and had a chemical smell to it, similar to iodine. Darren had also said that the baby's skin was yellow. Initially, the officers considered the possibility that it was a miscarried fetus and that Darren might have been mistaken. However, upon opening the bag and examining its contents, they observed what appeared to be a full-term baby, not a fetus. They needed confirmation, so they contacted the medical examiner's office, who arrived within minutes. By the time they arrived, officers had cordoned off the home, unsure if it was a crime scene or not. Regardless, a dead baby had been found, and they needed to determine its identity and what had happened. The baby had clearly been concealed deliberately, wrapped in plastic bags and duct tape, and hidden in a box. The medical examiner carefully removed the baby from the home, while more detectives were called to the scene. They obtained a search warrant to examine the rest of the garage, which was cluttered with boxes from floor to ceiling. They were searching for anything that could help them identify the baby, or how it ended up dead in the family's garage. As they began their search, Darren was determined to uncover the truth. Having been in prison for the past 8 years, he had no idea how a dead baby ended up in the garage. He considered the distressing possibility that one of his daughters may have secretly given birth. However, this thought was fleeting, as his daughters adamantly denied any knowledge of the baby. Seeking answers, Darren decided to call his ex-wife, Megan Huntsman. After he confronted her, she broke down into tears and told him that the baby was his and that she had given birth when he was in prison. However, she said that the baby was stillborn